property, if you have a, okay, for example, talking about protected variables here. If you have a private variable in your class in C#, how can you pass values or get values of that particular variable in the main? Get and set. You must define that as part of your class. So here we are going to do the same thing, but you don't have to write the get and set functions yourself. The synthesize will generate it for you automatically.
Just by default.
Yeah, by default. Okay. So here you must tell whether you are used as a property function. E number. So that you use it. And set E number to assign the value here. But this is you are writing, but there it will also generate the default get and set for passing the values. We can also write it here if you want. The display salary is going to take 2 arguments. So this is the difficult part, understanding the method definitions in Objective-C than the other languages. Very difficult. Very, a lot of people confuse. This salary will pass 2 parameters. I already told you we have to use 2 different keywords for the method to pass 2 parameters, or 3 different keywords to pass 3 parameters. So here we are going to pass 2 parameters. One is hours and the other one is a rate. So display salary colon int hours then you can't just put comma and put hours, right? So we have to use another keyword and rate. This is for the method name and rate. Then we'll define the data type with a variable.
What is end rate? It's a method name.
Yeah. In one line we are putting 2 different names for a method.
Oh my god. For 2 pairs.
Yeah.
We can't use one method and
You can't use just one keyword for one method. Yeah. Like this, there are so many things, new syntax and new concepts.
So the and rate is connected together as one
And
word.
rate, one word, yeah.
Always one parameter is connected to one method.
One method will have one parameter. If it is in the same line, you can have 2 method, 2 parameter, 3 method, 3 parameter. Like for each parameter, you add a keyword for a method.
So you instead of and rate, you can put and or. Or you
Use
can put
anything, any keyword.
as long and you join it with the
Yeah,
word
any
and.
keyword, but just one keyword.
Join it
Any
with the
keyword,
and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any keyword.
Alright, it's clear now.
Yeah. Okay. So this salary colon int hours space no comma and rate colon double rate. If you assume if you have many parameters in methods, how many keywords will be used?
There's no shortcut for this.
There's no way.
Defining the array.
Yeah. Then at n. So that's end of the declaration, not the implementation.
That reminds me of COBOL programming.
COBOL.
Oh, it was lot of product coding same. Just
Yeah, but here, even though you have a lot of coding in Objective-C, there are a lot of advantages. Like when we go through all the concepts, we will see a lot of advantages. Certain things are very, very easy, like overriding, you are avoiding it. They consider a lot of ideas and put together. So when I say a lot of ideas, when I compare with C# or C++, I think this has a lot of maybe 20% extra facilities.
how is it?
Yeah. In my experience, I'm saying. I used all the languages for the last 27 years. Even I started C 27 years ago. So I can see a lot of new concepts they put it and very sophisticated. You will feel like, yeah, it is very important. They ignored earlier. Something like that.
Do you you are software development company also? Your,
Yeah.
you have?
Not myself, like I was having before.
Okay. I thought you were doing all this. Why you are in
I'm going to
education?
have it. He's also going to work here.
Right. Okay. So why you are in education then? I'm just thinking.
I love it.
Oh, you like to teach, that's why. Okay.
To impart knowledge is not simple. Like
It's not everybody's thing.
making people, like we may see, like a lot of people benefited from me when I started e-commerce process. Everybody was getting jobs because not many people, but only I started first, almost.
I think this course also is not done by. I haven't seen anybody.
It's difficult to understand. Only few people can understand. Okay, so we done one property and we done two methods. Yeah. Now we'll implement them. So in order to implement the property, we'll use synthesize keyword in the implementation section. So we start with implementation. After 3-4 classes of this, then you will be very familiar with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like first time is very complicated.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
The method specifically.
At implementation, int hours, sorry, the employee is the name, so employee. So here you don't have to repeat that, it's already done, the inheritance. Followed by the synthesize keyword. If you have this, then you must have this. Synthesize. Synthesize.
What it does? Get and set.
It generate get and set functions. Anytime you can use to set the values and get the values. Then we'll implement set e number. So the e number we are assigning the value.
This is our own method.
Yeah.
Setting.
Yeah.
I thought we are going to have two methods, like Android and display cell.
No, this is the method. One line of method. It has two keywords. E number employee E is that we are creating as a point. Yeah. Then employee alert init because of N as object is not alert init. Then E set E number. We already setting the value. Then E display salary. Instead of dot, we just put square bracket and space. Yes. E display salary 40 and rate.
It's good in a way. It's clear.
It's very clear.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not confusing.
Yeah, that's what I told you. Like they consider a lot of things and made it very sophisticated. Like here, it is clear that you are passing the rate as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we had E dot salary and what.
You can even rename this as you could have done it like salary with int. So here this tells you are putting hours and rate. The this salary keyword I am rewording as this salary with hours and rate.
Oh, so we can
To-
even change the name.
Yeah, it's our name.
Yeah.
Here we are putting
It's a
to make it more meaningful.
Yeah.
To make it more meaningful. You can connect
Like
to-
give an example of last minute. They have got some flight bookings iPhones.
I wrote the flight bookings for last minute of time.
Okay. I know just that one of these. So they have got backend Oracle. So using iPhone, they will be connecting to the Oracle, isn't it?
Any data. Yeah, any. As long as we are able to connect to one database, it can connect to any data. Address card, number of cards. We create number of cards and manipulate. Okay. So interface, address card, N is object, and N is string. Here, if you want to use char, only one character. Char is only one character. If you want to use multiple characters for keyword, then you have to go for string, which is generic terminology, string. But here, the class that we are going to use is NS string. This is part of foundation. Okay. So we create two properties, name and email address, to create address. Void set name, the name, void set email, the email. Here, to get the values, just call the name and email will give the values. Then print, you don't have to pass any parameters to print the card. So you will print the name and the email. So if you have a one card object, address card object, you will add two parameters, two values, isn't it? Yeah. The name and the email address. Then you want to see what the name.
What was that? NS string star, just name and email.
You are defining the variables. Int star p, like that, a string star and the variable name.
Oh,
all pointers came. We use pointers.
Okay.
As I said earlier, we can also use without pointers. Then you have to assign the values rather than calling the values. The value type. This is a reference type. It's referred to a location. It's pointing to a location.
But why do you define the name and email? It's already defined there, isn't it?
Here you define as a members of the address card. So in order to get the values, to call the values to display, you have to do this. When you call name, it will return. You will see below. It will return the value. Then void print to print the content. Then implementation address card. Set the name. You pass the name. So here, when you use string, NS string, it is not a primitive data type. Int is a primitive data type. NS string is a class. So you are creating a name object and email object. Why we have to use object? What's the advantage of using object here?
You can manipulate. You can manipulate.
You can easily manipulate them. In value type, you can just store it and get it only. So here, the predefined classes, NS string and similar, there are so many classes, we have to go through all of them. And they have predefined methods for different manipulation, different tasks. So we can use them. That's the advantage. Huge advantages here. So here, in order to assign the value, the name is the value that we have to pass, like Peter. We have to allocate memory for that particular class to have an instance. The instance name is name. The instance name is going to create an instance name. And we initialize with this value. This is a method in NS string. It's a method. They already defined it. We are going to use that. So we are just using it. So if we are writing our own class, we are putting our own methods, isn't it? As you want, you can name it, as I mentioned earlier in the employee. So they already have init with string, so we have to pass a string value. Like that. Set email, again, string the email, that's the value we are going to assign. Email equal NS string alloc, we are allocating the memory space. Then within that space, we are assigning the value. Yeah, the name, yeah. Here we are returning the name. So to get the values, we are returning the name and return the email.